I mean, he was gonna hit him with a whiskey bottle.
You know, I was actually surprised for all the celebrity, the celebrity wing stuff that Lemmy didn't go in this year. Like they had to come out with the Stone Cold match.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, of all the years that you put in a celebrity, Lemmy going in at the same time as Triple H probably would have fucking made sense.
Oh yeah, that's peanut butter and jelly right there. I mean, really. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's they weren't going to have The Rock apparently because, like I said, he just is there. He's not, and they kind of wanted to finish this as far as things were going. Now, with all of that said, he didn't need the entrance. He shouldn't have come down, come down to the ramp the way that he did. If anything, the guy should have popped over the fucking barricade and done it. That should have been a quick little thing. But I don't know. They let him use the song, so they gave him his big fancy entrance, and it slowed the thing down to a fucking snail's pace. Not good.
Patrick Connell says, I guess The Rock couldn't be bothered to come out and participate in a story that you were the sole part of, pun intended.
Yeah, no shit, right?
He just didn't show, didn't anything. They've kind of left The Rock out of the storyline since they started it past. I don't know what his role is in this. I don't know what they want to do with this. I don't know if they're just trying to pretend it never happened. But
The Rock's like that guy when you were a kid, where everyone's like, "We're gonna go to the mall,
right?
Like, we're gonna go to a movie," and then everybody shows up and they don't. It's like, dude, this was your idea. Why are we? Oh no, never mind. I changed my mind. It's like you told us all to come here, you dickhead.
Nick Nemeth fan for 20. Much love. Henry is just a one-note comedy meme wrestler. He's an entrance, and then the bell rings, and he's just a guy that WWE sees that too. He's the new standout. WWE will use his temporary popularity to get actual stars that they're pushing over.
That's fine.
That's
I'll take that payday if I'm Henry.
He's a Santino. He's a Carlito. He's whatever. He's your next shtick, which is fine. I don't think. I mean, I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but I don't think anybody was looking at the Randy Orton Open Challenge as being anything serious. Once Kevin Owens was out, we knew it was going to be about whoever showed up. Like that's what it was. I was genuinely surprised it was Joe Hendry because there's so many other names looming out there. From Jeff Cobb and Rusev and Malachi Black or Aleister Black. Like there's all these other people that could have made a return. There was even rumors about the White Six supposedly making a return against Randy Orton, which might have made sense with the Alexa Bliss connection, etc. But they went with Joe Hendry, which what, good for him. And they even gave him a shirt, Joe. They gave him a shirt, so he has his own WrestleMania shirt. That's a flail right now.
But like guys, the way that it went, the exact amount of time, the way that it played out, it was all it needed to be.
Yes.
So the mediocre, so he appeared.
Yes.
Your mom Fox says it should have been Greg Opie Hughes taking on Orton. Yes, I agree.
Oh, God. Well, but that's it. It's like that's all it needed to be. Like I'm sure there were a lot of people, myself included, where I was like, I feel like Rusev will probably show up for something, but I didn't need another 20-minute long match on the show.
Right.
This was fun. It was fine. The people reacted big to it. Guys, he's the TNA champion who does comedy segments, and he had a 5-minute match with Randy Orton, and it got a good reaction. The finish was exactly what it needed to be, and it made a fun little WrestleMania moment. Because, like I said, even though I love the fact that they had some hard-hitting, good matches on this card, there still is a point where if you do something that's funny but not completely insulting, I'm down with it. And this was it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Next one is Wuda for 5. What does WWE see in Bird Girl? Why does she have 2 belts? I still don't get her gimmick.
Oh, they love her.
A great promo or been in any storyline.
What is the point of her?
They want her to be big, man.
I just don't. But no, but truly, what is her story? What is the investment with her? What is the buy-in? She has 2 belts, and what is it? I just don't get it.
I know that there's a connection with Becky. Becky is her favorite wrestler of all time. Like they've made that clear before. That was the connection for tonight, I guess, and the reason why Bayley was, subjectively taken off of TV. They just want Lyra to be the next big thing. Apparently, somebody sees that Lyra is going to be huge. She's not bad in the ring at all by any means. And I thought it was really silly. And maybe that was the point of her leaning in and literally wearing arm feathers tonight. Like she went full. I thought she was the sorceress from He-Man for a second there. And I'm like, oh, they're selling He-Man toys again. But yeah.
Yeah, there's no gimmick there. There's nothing there to work with.
It's not terrible. There's just nothing special about her.
Right. Especially to give her 2 belts, Andrew. Like, yeah. NBA Galley says, Joey, I'd rather see you come out to Good Vibrations by Marky.
Well, I mean, that is a local classic.
Yes.
That's me coming out to my national anthem. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Stuart Henderson says, I'd buy Sky's panties just to stop perverts from getting them.
What a good guy.
I mean,
he's doing the Lord's work right there.
What are you gonna do? Put him in like a chastity belt or something? Like
we're gonna hide them away, put them in a time capsule.
He's gonna frame them and hang them up on the wall.
Yeah,
he's gonna take them and then put them away in John Moxley's briefcase so nobody can see them ever again. Is that what it is?
Oh God. Athletic Gamer says, cheer to Don Well, believe in Joe. No Aleister Black.
Yeah, he's showing up Friday.
Another one from Jake Johnson. Oh, sorry, Jake Johnson, 5 for 5. This WrestleMania was an even bigger disappointment than my son.
Oh man. Well,
is that my dad?
Is that my dad?
well, Jake. I mean, I just gotta ask you this: what if half your son was good? You know what I mean? Like that's WrestleMania, like a half good son, right?
Maybe he's a good dancer.
Yeah. Maybe he's half cool. I don't know. Because I felt it was half good.
Patrick Connell says, how mad do you think Dave Meltzer was with the amount of black rappers that kept being shown? Dave did not approve of WrestleMania's music choices. He's not a fan of WrestleMania 4.
Well, you know what? I didn't like the Fiend song. But Dave Meltzer doesn't like it because Fiend in Japanese is Mark.
Yeah.
And that's his least favorite word. If you didn't know that, guys, I speak Japanese fluently. It's one of my many skills. No, God, that is a pretty good observation. Why are they taking this time to show all those rap fellas in the audience? He's literally the girl from the beginning of fucking Baby Got Back and a 65-year-old man with orange hair.
Well, I guess we can go right into the Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry challenge. Obviously, Kevin Owens was no longer a part of this due to his neck injury, but I guess is requiring surgery as well. TNA World Champ Joe Hendry answered, making the surprise crossover moment. He defeated him by pinfall. Randy Orton defeated Joe Hendry via pinfall. The short match saw Hendry counter Orton's RKO attempts with a roll-up and a fall-away, but Orton secured the win with the RKO after Hendry posed for the crowd post-match. Orton raised Hendry's hand before hitting another RKO, hyping Hendry while asserting dominance, and that is the Randy Orton way. But that was nice. I agree with you. I still think it could have been somebody else, which would have been fun to see them build up something long-term, because if Kevin Owens is going through neck surgery, he's not coming back anytime soon. You know what I mean? So they could have used that to build something else up. But you're right. It's a spectacle moment. What are you going to do? This is WWE's damage control. No pun intended.
Right. Well, they can't. Yeah. Well, no, but dude, they don't have like a real big opponent lined up for him. So their mindset was like, let's just do this fun thing. Yeah, and the crowd was happy with it,
But if it came out with Black or a Rusev or something, then you could set something up.
Yeah.
I thought earlier today, like since it was Kevin Owens that was out, and we hadn't seen him in a while, maybe Sami Zayn, still defending because he even said in one of those promos, "I'll be your friend again one day." And I was like, that'd be kind of interesting. Because that's a name that nobody was talking about.
Is Sammy hurt? He's got to be, right? Why?
If he's WrestleMania, he probably is.
Yeah, he's got to be. Dude, he's got to be in a bad way himself too, because that dude is very rarely out. very rarely injured. And for him to miss the show, that is very surprising.
No, especially, well, maybe they'll both come back at the same time and reform a tag team. I don't know. I'm just, I guess it's just a hopeful thought of Kevin Owens and Sami getting back together. But yeah, no. And then after that, we had the AJ Styles and Logan Paul match, which started off with a 40-minute drone multi-camera shot. I don't know. Man, this crowd was absolutely dead for this one. I'd like to hear people at ringside tell me otherwise, but on TV, wow. I was surprised because I didn't think the match overall between these two was boring. Like everything was fine.
No, it wasn't
It
bad.
just felt so bland. Like there was nothing really coming from it. Even when Cross got involved and did the faux, don't use the brass knuckles. I'm gonna save you, AJ. Like,
Do you know what could be a problem with Logan Paul? What could eventually become an issue with him? And I'm not saying that this dude is obviously not picking this up at lightning speed or anything, but just like any meme, just like anything that's based strictly from the internet, is the crowd eventually just going to be like, yeah, we're tired of booing this fucking guy. We've been booing him enough. We get it. Is that going to happen with him? I'm not sure. Like, I really don't
I
know.
mean, he's still a scumbag. It's not
Once
like
we boom, he ain't going away.
yeah, like, it's not like he became a good person overnight. And WWE leans into it. Who was the little fucking the gremlin outside the ring?
Oh,
reaching up?
Yeah, some random kid that's on streamers.
Right.
Shit. I don't know, dude. Once again, this is like another one of those things where I try to not be too miserable about it. I'm just making a joke. But
was bad. It was
it's
bad.
an inside joke thing that if
It
you
was
don't know it, you don't know it.
And we don't, and most people don't. It was bad. It was corny. It was really not taken seriously at all. The in-ring stuff was fine, but it was bland. The Logan Paul using Styles Clash, and then Styles just popping up and using the Styles Clash and Logan. Like everything seemed to fall flat. Nothing felt like it had any kind of oomph to it. I dare say that Logan Paul has kind of lost his buzz. And I think even though AJ Styles was a lot of people's favorites, I don't think this was it. I didn't know where the hell they were going. The Cross stuff seemed weird. And AJ Styles, I guess AJ Styles understands that Cross is being a dick, and that's why he slugged him, and we get that. But it's just everything feels anticlimactic. It just really did.
Does a smart audience, like a smart fan audience, which I assume that that's what WrestleMania is going to be at this point, because only like 40-year-old and under men that are spending thousands of dollars are more than likely going to be the majority of the crowd, are they also not going to react to Paul more and more as time goes on because of basically what I've said here, where they're like, he's just a fucking internet thing. And I don't fully understand the whole deal with him. I don't really grasp completely what the story is. And like I said, just like anything that's a meme, it gets old. It gets tired.
Right.
Eventually people just go, oh, well, he's an asshole and he's a piece of shit. And people are like, yeah, a lot of people are pieces of shit.
I wonder if the internet fans are trying to be completely brilliant and figuring if we don't react, maybe they just stop putting on TV.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you know what? At least if they're going to have this guy who does randomly interfere with matches sometimes, I've noticed. I think you said it before. How about you at least put him on television as the guy's bitch boy a couple times so the audience has some idea who it is, aside from people that don't just watch him on the internet talk about his balls or whatever the hell he does. I have no idea. That might be a good investment of 30 seconds of television time for the rest of us,
Where's that dude that Braun hit with the Spear at the Royal Rumble? At least we know who he is.
the high show speed kid. Yeah, that's about it.
So let's go on to a couple more super chats real quick. Jose says, Fiend.
Wherever the road takes you, Chevy is ready to drive you forward.
Fiend.
That's a good point.
It is. Nick Raymond for 10 says, it looks like it would have been the final nail in the coffin for my fandom if I watched. Too many overpushed superficial wrestlers doing boring shit between the ad reads. How do people eat this up? Yeah, no, there was some people talking about the amount of ads or time away from the ring versus the time in the ring at WrestleMania. And yeah, they're selling a lot more ads now than they've ever been before. I mean, if you're on Peacock, apparently if you were on Peacock and you had the ad version of Peacock, it was almost unbearable. I'm sure you remember those days, Joe.
Oh, I was watching a lot of the same ads this time too.
Oh, you
How many
were?
stickers did you count?
Well, at least it wasn't the same ad in a row. But no, dude, by the way, for WWE selling all these ad spots, listen, man, I get it. The Peacock thing is really cheap. It's way, way cheaper than spending $60 or whatever it was for a pay-per-view back in the day.
Oh, no.
But could you at least give me some variety of the ads?
I
do I have to-
that, dude. If you have Netflix, get a VPN. You can buy them for
I
the price
know.
of free.
I know.
Just look online. And then just put yourself in any other damn country besides the US and watch WrestleMania or any of the Raw, SmackDown, NXT. You can watch it all commercial free. So,
Well, dude, no, but truly, there does reach this point where I'm like, all right, I get it. I know the general is selling car insurance. I know it.
Right.
I know. I don't need car insurance right now. They're like, hey, it's me, Shaq. Are you sure you don't need car insurance from 10 minutes ago? Yeah, no, Shaq, I don't need car insurance from 10 minutes ago. Are you sure? You should really consider going to the general.com and try to find some. No, you already told me about this 5 minutes ago. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Wait,
Thanks,
he goes, you want some insurance? No. What about a pizza?
I know. At some point, Shaq, as much as I love him, has become just like this voice in my head. He's like, hey man, you want some Chef Boyardee? I'm like, no, Shaq, I don't want Chef Boyardee. Well, you want to watch some basketball? Yeah, I'll watch it later. All right. Well, when you don't watch the basketball, you want a pizza? Yeah, I like pizza, Shaq. Pizza's pretty good. He's like, all right.
he's my friend Papa John. He's got some pizza for you.
Yeah, you want to do a colon cancer screening? I'm like, come on, Shaq. Really? Yeah, man.
Just individualized Shaq commercial breaks. I would love that.
Man, you want to take a dump in this box? Look at his box. He's got a face on it. You want to take a shit in his head? We'll tell you if you're sick or not. I think, no, Shaq, I just like to watch the wrestling show. All right. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Hey, if I can digress for a second, one of my favorite Shaq things was when he was getting ready to wrestle Cody on AEW, and on the NBA halftime show, he ripped up like a cardboard standee of Cody Rhodes, and Charles Barkley goes, "Hey man, why'd you do that? Cody Rhodes is my favorite wrestler."
I love Charles Barkley. I love, dude. One of my favorite people of all fucking time. I love Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
King Boomer hits us up for 10 guys, and he says Candy had to go. Much love to King Boomer. Thank you.
Yeah, we always see the king in there. By the way, he
Watch
has
his
a,
videos too.
yeah, he has a lot of fucking subs, and it was funny because anytime he posts something, I get a notification because that's just how YouTube does things. Like, look, someone important said something nice to you,
Yeah, right.
or they told you to eat shit and die. Do you want to go see that real quick? And I'm like, thanks, YouTube. But thank you to Boomer. I always see him in there. He's a fucking cool cat.
Street Fighter for 20 says submission Joey. If the women's triple threat is what we're getting at Evolution, inject it into my veins, bro. I regret doubting the build for that match. I am right there with you, dude. That was not the match that I was expecting to be the most emotional, but I was actually surprised. I was surprised as to how well they introduced Night 2 with that, and yeah, it kind of kept the buzz going even through some of the poor matches like Becky and Bird Girl. Yeah. Anna for 10 says this is the play it safe era. No big surprises, boring, safe. It's killing the product. And Joe would come out to drop kick Murphy and rip to Kevin fucking Castle. Yeah, man. For sure.
Oh boy, no dropkick Murphys for me. And yes, they're playing it safe, but it's because it's just working. It's the way they see it. They're like, okay, when do people really start complaining?
Dude,
they'll do
Cole was censored for saying the word balls. When
Oh,
Cena was going to kick him in the when Cena kicked Cody, he's like, he kicked him in the, and they censored him. I think they either censored him or Cole is so trained that he's self-censored.
I think he's self-censored because they didn't censor Stone Cold saying shit.
I thought that too, yeah.
I like the idea of Michael Cole just being like, he's like he kicked him in the ooh.
He kicked him in the Ulapala.
He kicked him in the ooh. Yes, Michael, it's okay. No one cares anymore. You just say the bad words.
Yeah, he was in a rare form tonight too. So I guess now we get to the main match, man. We get to Cody Rhodes versus John Cena in a main event that was passive at best.
It was there.
I mean, Cody Rhodes came out with, was he supposed to be like Ghost Rider or Super Dave or something? They had the dirt bike guys flying off. I'm like, is he gonna like do a ramp down to the ramp? Like, I wasn't sure what Cody Rhodes was going for, but he came out with the skull face, and then he had the magic button that he pushed in his side that made the helmet go up by itself. I was like, ooh, that's a cool motorcycle helmet there, Cody.
Oh boy. Well, this was more vehicle-based entrances.
Yes.
Which I love those because they're like, yeah, these are fancy. We're like, you just borrowed a car. You just borrow a car? That was like I said, there was some shit like that where I'm going, okay, we're cheaping out a little bit. We're cheaping out on these entrances.
I don't know. They spent good money on making sure that helmet went up.
That was true.
They just used dirt bikes as opposed to like cars.
The dirt bike kid, broom broom. Which for Cody, I mean, the million layers of just, dare I say, even corny symbolism that goes with Cody, the American flag and the skull thing and all that stuff. They're just like, nope, dirt bikes for Cody.
Yeah.
I'm like, what, dirt bikes? The fuck did that happen? They're like, Motocross Cody. You didn't know that was his nickname? That's what we call it now. Motocross Cody. Crossroads, Crossroads. There you go. All right, that's a free one.
So that was the entrance. John Cena came down to the ring with no marketing, no colors, no happiness, just a void of all life. If they could have turned off all the lights in the arena, I think they would have done it. Walks out of the ring, very generic. All he's doing is holding up, this is the last time, across the back of his head. And then we got into the ring. And inside the ring, it was very atypical. John Cena was going through the best of, the greatest hits of John Cena. And the crowd was absolutely not going to boo John Cena. They refused. Cody did everything he could to kind of go over to babyface. One thing I did tell you in private, I'm like, if Cena really wants his crowd to hate him, he should stop doing all the moves that they love.
Oh, yeah. At some point, he should have just grabbed a hold and kept him on the mat. There was some of that shit going on. But Cena was doing so little that I think that his mindset was, and this is an old school wrestling thing to do. If you're going to do something that I don't like, whatever it might be, I'm the heel, you're cheering me like a face, or you're chanting boring, right? Well, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to bore you even fucking worse. Or I'm going to do the exact opposite of whatever it is that I'm getting a reaction for. So even him doing like the sledge off the second rope, I'm like, I'm surprised he didn't just take him down, put him in a side headlock, and be like, I'm going to keep Cody Rhodes here until you people start cheering for him. Because that was the desired effect. But no, man, it's going to be really borderline rough seeing what Cena's going to do to get to the end of this run. Because he was starting to look like early 90s Harley Race moving around the fucking ring. It was kind of fucking tough to watch. And dude, he's still doing great work. The promos have been great. I'm enjoying the fact that we're getting a different flavor of John Cena for the first time in 20 fucking years to add something to it in terms of interest. But yeah, he was moving. It looked kind of fucking rough, man. It looked rough the way he was trying to get around.
Pretty winning. He wasn't like that at Elimination Chamber.
I know. That's maybe he's something nagging injury. Something else happened. You never know. He could have hurt himself in the gym. Now you're talking about a guy who's not particularly limber, and he's in his mid 40s at this point. And yeah, you're gonna get what you're gonna get out of him.
There was a lot of hesitation in the ring. Cody didn't seem like he was striking Cena on the same level that you were expecting. This has been a build-up that's been going on for months. There's been a lot of people intertwined in it. And I don't feel at any point that Cody was giving us the amount of rage that we were expecting. This felt very exhibition-like, and I think that's what ultimately killed it for me. It wasn't Travis Scott coming down to the ring. It wasn't the ref being knocked out but watching the match while he's just sitting on the side eating popcorn. It wasn't any of that shit. It was the fact that Cody should have wanted to murder John Cena out there, even when he had the belt. And that was a weird thing, too, was watching Cena beg off. I laughed at it. I know I'm not supposed to laugh at it, but I laughed at it because I don't think I've ever seen Cena beg off, or at least it's been forever since I've seen that. And it just threw me for a loop. And Cody's over dramatic. Oh, I don't want to, but I do, but I don't. Yep. Took me right out because I'm like, Jesus.
Actor Cody.
Well, he went on earlier to talk about the Hollywood era of things. He's like, I think the Hollywood era is in wrestling right now today. And it's like, clearly, because the bad acting of Broadway is happening right in the fucking ring.
That is the worst attribute of Cody by a lot. Is his need to be, like I said, the actor studio starring Cody Rhodes. Right. He's going to tell you of his trials and tribulations and his conflicts. It's like, no, dude, can you just be a human?
Wow, what you're seeing right now is an ultra-realistic
Going to tell you of his trials and tribulations.